Hello, I'm Bailey Leisure, and this is my 2018 Major League Baseball season wild card recap video, as well as my divisional predictions. So, to start off with the wild card round, starting off with the National League, the first game, the Rockies versus the Cubs. This really was a pitching duel. um, Low-scoring game. Both pitchers for the Rockies and the Cubs pitched very well. John Lester went 6 innings and gave up only 1 run, while Tyler Anderson went 6 and 2/3. The only run was scored. The first run was scored in this game, by Nolan Arenado on a sacrifice fly in the first inning, and then Javier Baez was able to score a run in the 8th inning, and then we were tied. Throughout those extra innings, players were getting on base, but including a lot of walks, not a lot of deep fly balls hit in this game, and then finally in the 13th inning, catcher for the Colorado Rockies, Tony Walters, was able to get the go-ahead run in the 13th inning, and then Scott Olberg for the Colorado Rockies was able to shut that inning, and the Rockies were able to upset the Cubs in the National League wildcard game. And it's kind of a shock that the Cubs went from like a week prior to this game, went from leading the division by a couple games to losing the tiebreaker game for the division to being knocked out of the playoffs entirely. But the Rockies. Moving on to the American League wild card game, between the Oakland A's and the New York Yankees. This was a game that the Yankees got off to a fast start, thanks to a 2-run home run by Aaron Judge. Luis Severino was able to pitch 4 innings in this game. He walked a lot of batters, but he was able to get out of the trouble. Oakland just couldn't get the bats going until late in the game, when they were losing by more than 4 runs. Giancarlo Stanton hit a big home run to put them up 7-2. The bullpen for the Yankees did a very good job in shutting things down, even though Oakland, coming into this game, I thought had the better bullpen. But the Yankees proved they had a better bullpen, thanks to some good pitching performances from Betances, excuse me if I'm saying his name wrong, David Robertson, Zach Britton, and then Aroldis Chapman was able to shut it down in the 9th inning, and the Yankees were able to advance to the divisional round by winning a score of 7-2 over the Oakland. That moves us into the divisional round, starting off in the American League. Obviously, the big one that there's going to be a lot of eyes on, the Red Sox versus the Yankees. One of the oldest rivalries in baseball. The first time we've seen this since the famous 2004 American League Championship Series, where the Red Sox became the first team in baseball to come back from a 3-0 deficit as they ended their long World Series drought at the time in 2004. This is a pretty good series matchup. I think from a hitting standpoint, it's pretty evenly matched up, even though, obviously Mookie Betts and JD Martinez, but then you have guys like Giancarlo Stanton, Gary Sanchez, Andrew McCutchen and Aaron Judge for the Yankees. I think bullpen, I'd probably go even with, I'd probably say the Yankees have the stronger bullpen going into this series. Starters, it's pretty evenly matched up, even though the Red Sox starters don't have that much playoff success. I think this series is going to go 5 games, and I'm going to take the Red Sox to win the series. And then the other divisional series in the American League, the Astros versus the Indians. The Astros, defending World Series champions, and the Indians, who won a pretty weak division and won their 3rd division in a row. I think the Astros are definitely the heavy favorites in this one. I can't necessarily count the Indians out, because I think their bullpen is better than Houston, but I think the starters are better for Houston, for the Astros, the starting rotation. And then I just think the hitters it's just a much more complete lineup there, with guys like Alex Bregman, Jose Altuve, George Springer. The Indians have Jose Ramirez and a couple other, Josh Donaldson and Edwin Encarnacion. I think the Astros are the favorites in this thing, and I think they'll take the series. Moving on to the National League Series, the Brewers versus the Rockies. The Brewers are coming in one of the hottest teams in baseball, possibly a favorite to represent the National League in the World Series. They're going up against the Rockies, who I wouldn't necessarily count out. I think they could be an interesting team that could make a deep playoff run as well. I think pitching definitely, I think starting pitching is definitely going to have to go to, I'd probably say the Rockies have the better pitching rotation. But I think the Brewers definitely have the better bullpen with guys like Corey Knebel and Josh Hader. But I think definitely hitters. I mean, with a lineup where you have the MVP in the National League, Christian Yelich, I would definitely take over the Rockies, even though the Rockies have Arenado and Charlie Blackmon and Trevor Story. But I think the Brewers are the favorites in this thing, and I'm gonna take them. I'm gonna take them winning in 3 in a sweep. And then the final series, the Dodgers versus the Braves. The Dodgers trying to get back to the World Series. They won their 6th division championship in a row against the young and up and coming team, the Atlanta Braves. I think the Dodgers definitely have the better pitching staff, probably the better lineup with guys like Manny Machado and Yasiel Puig and Justin Scherner. The Braves have some really young starters, including Ronald Acuna Jr. and Ozzie Alpers, or Albie, excuse me. But I think the Dodgers have the better bullpen, but I think the key in this will be Kenley Jansen returning to form and limiting the home runs he's given up. And I think the big factor in this series will be the pitching staff that the Dodgers have in the first 3 games, with guys like Clayton Kershaw, Hinju Ryu, and Walker Buehler. And for that factor, I'm going to take the Dodgers to win the series in 4 games. And that's it for my video. As always, follow me on Twitter at BabyBaser96. If you liked the video, click like, subscribe, and leave your comments below in the comment section on your thoughts on the wild card round as well as the divisional round. Check out previous videos I've done, including my Week 5 NFL picks that came out earlier today, and a couple other videos from videos I did recently. The links are in the description below. So thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you all later.